Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a really good weekend. Like I say, we're back with another one, and this one was very kindly sent to me from my good friend over at Chris's Beer Reviews. Chris, shockingly enough, can you believe that? Chris's Beer Reviews, and he's called Chris. It's amazing. Yeah, this was very kindly sent over to me from Chris. So a massive thank you, pal. Much appreciated. And he sent me a beer from a brewery that I've never had anything from before, so I am looking forward to this. And it's from Tring Brewery, who are, am I going to be able to read, from Hertfordshire. Tring, Hertfordshire. I didn't even know Tring was a place, but there we go. I know nothing. So the beer we've got is a bottle of their Pale 4, and it's lovely artwork. Silver it is. It might look gold on the screen for you, I don't know. And this is an American IPA coming in at 4.8% in a 500ml bottle. It's got American Amarillo, American Cascade, American Simcoe and American Citra hops. It says on the side, hops, hops and more hops. But wait, I'm trying to see because it's got that shiny writing, so I have to get it out of the light. But wait, this is no one-dimensional Lupin Feast. We've added Munich, Cara and Rye Crystal malts to give this punchy American West Coast IPA style great body and complexity. So there we go. Nice looking artwork as well. I like that, kind of simple. So there we go. Now, I've not used this glass for ages. I do go through phases of using glasses. Ones I don't always use very often. I like to pull out here and there. And I'm going to whack that, or this one, in the Magic Dragon glass. There we go. Magic Dragon Brewery out of Wrexham. Nucleated at the bottom, so it may well be lively. The beer has been out the fridge for a little bit, but I mean, I think my fridge is probably set at about 5 degrees, so it's, at best this is probably about 6, which isn't too bad. So I'm going to get it cracked open. There we go. Silver crown. It might look gold, but it is silver. So let's get it cracked open, see what we get. Smoky at the top. Nothing's risen up. So we'll see if old Bazza can do a decent pour. He probably can. He's pretty good at this stuff. And he's modest. And he's modest. So I'm going to leave a little bit of gap at the top. There is some still left in there, but I'm going to leave a gap so I can give it a swirl and get my nose in. Now, with the light, it probably looks a bit darker for you. It's very much sort of like a light amber, I'm going to say. It probably looks a bit darker on camera. There is a mass of carbonation going up, as you can see there. But I did say it was a nucleated back end glass. A nice finger of compact head. Yeah, looks good. I'm expecting sort of a bit of a traditional number, but I'm expecting to be quite hoppy as well. So let's dive in with the nose, see what we get. Oh, wow, yeah. There's definitely big hop notes. Grapefruit. You're really picking up that sort of bitter grapefruit on there. Yeah, lemon lime maybe. Yeah, definitely sort of like a little backdraft of lemon and lime. Grapefruit. A bit of maltiness going on with a touch of sweetness in there as well for me. And maybe just a touch of orange. It does smell very good. It's got to be said, it does smell very good. So I'm going to give her a little bit of a top up. I don't know if it's bottle conditioned. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I won't get it all in anyway. There's still a bit there. But it looks a mighty fine beer, doesn't it? Look at that. Look how well that looks in the glass. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to thank Chris from Chris's Beer Reviews once again. And we're going to dive in on Tring Breweries and their Pale 4 American IPA 4.8% ABV. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, yeah. That is lovely. That is lovely. It has, it's definitely sort of in the middle of sort of like craft West Coast and traditional West Coast. There's elements of both sides, but they certainly blend well together. Let's go again and actually get started, shall we? Wow. The body on that is fantastic. The head on that beer is giving it a smoothness. The body's fantastic, 4.8%. It's absolutely beautiful. It really is. You couldn't ask for any more from a 4.8% beer. The smoothness of this beer, you could not ask for any more. It is that good. Carbonation is there, but very much in the background. You sort of drink it. It doesn't have a flat taste. Some beers can feel like they've got no carbonation and taste flat. This doesn't. This has got loads of carbonation in there. You know, the bubbles are rising up, but you don't feel it. You only feel it on, it's like a backdraft of carbonation that you just feel that little tickle. It's really smooth. It's really soft. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because I've had nothing from them. And I think for everyone reviewing beer, that is always a little bit of a, especially if somebody sent it to you and you know other people like it, you always think, well, hang on, how good is it really? How good are they? I'll tell you what, if that is anything to go by, that is fantastic, and they are fantastic. We'll get on to the tasting notes. Once a bit of gas has gone down. It's got such, to start off with, for me it takes a little bit for, you sort of get the flavours, but when you're drinking it as it's going in, this seems to take just a little bit of time to sort of get the hoppy notes and everything coming through. And what you get for me is a very soft, subtle, malty start to it with a slight sweetness. There's no sort of sugary sort of sweetness. It's just a very subtle, malty sweetness. And then the hops start kicking in within about 2-3 seconds, shall we say. And for me, what I got on the nose is pretty much the bulk of what I'm sort of picking out myself on the taste. And you are hit with grapefruit, and you are hit with bitterness from grapefruit, and it feels, you just know it's real, you know it's authentic, you know it's not fucking E numbers or fake flavorings. You just know it because you just taste it. And what it reminds me of is, like many moons ago, Elvis juice, West Coast IPA, 6.5%, used to taste real. This reminds me to a certain extent of what Elvis juice used to taste like. And like, even though they put it down, didn't they, and then they put it back up to 6.5%, it still didn't really sort of taste as real as this. This is fantastic. Slight sweet maltiness, a little bit of orange citrus, I'm going to say. Grapefruit, a nice solid bitterness. I'm not going to say it's like really overpowering. It sort of wears off a little bit. The more your palate gets adjusted, that bitterness does wear off, and I feel it has worn off a touch. But it sort of lingers in the background. I'm going to say for me at this moment in time, to start off with, really noticed it. Now it's sort of not there so much, and then it sort of lingers a bit in the background, but it does wear off. I think once your palate gets adjusted to it, you don't notice it so much as you would expect. You do get a little lemon and lime thing there. I'm going to say what I'm picking up more on the back now is that little lemon and lime sort of zinginess right at the back end. 4.8%. I'll tell you what, the actual beer is weighty, and it will weigh you down. Obviously you're not going to be drinking it in 10 minutes like I am. But yeah, that's definitely got that West Coast feel. don't really get the pininess. That's where I said, you know, you get elements of craft West Coast, sort of like the grapefruit and that and the bitterness, but there's a big trad feel in there. But for me, you don't really get that pine sort of thing going on, which I do like the pine side of a West Coast IPA, but for a British brewed sort of West Coast IPA style, and that's maybe what I've got to be careful. You know, I'm saying West Coast, but it says West Coast style. Yeah, maybe that's the only bit that you sort of miss out of it. 4.8%, do you get that? That's what I've been trying to get on with, isn't it? Still got some in there, haven't I? The weight of the beer, the flavours in the beer certainly give you that 4.8% sort of feel of it. You could even possibly say that's drinking fractionally higher, but there's no sort of overpowering alcohol taste, just that nice bitterness. I think even the bitterness for 4.8% is really good. So yeah, for me, that is a cracking little number. Maybe something, you know, it's not going to be something I can just easily pick up where I am slightly hazy as well. It's not going to be something that I can just pick up easily where I am, but if I do happen to see it about, if I'm out and about and I see it in a beer shop or something, I will definitely try some more stuff of theirs. That's a great beer, absolute great beer. That's what beer should be like, you know, not like the shit that I've just reviewed. Wonky fruit beer, absolute bloody disgrace. That is quality. Not sure how much it cost. If Chris wants to comment, feel free, mate, but don't feel you have to. Not for my benefit, but for what these beers sort of cost. I don't know, I'm going to guess £3, something like that. It could have been £3.50, but that is a great beer, and something well worth £3.50 if I'm honest. I mean, it's just a well brewed beer. So there you go, there's my thoughts on my first ever Tring brewery beer, Pale 4, an American IPA, sent to me from Chris's Beer Reviews. Once again, a massive thank you to Chris. If you've had this beer before, let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and Basil, we'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.